We're not allowed to, we get in trouble. Okay, next question in the very back, yes.
It's already been leaked online, you guys are in Street Fighter.
Yes, we are in Street Fighter. They announced that though.
Or you referring to something later?
What's that?
Is that what you were referring to, or to something later?
Oh, it's a different project. Yeah, we're in Street Fighter. We didn't do the mocap for Street
Actual
Fighter.
question. We know that the next FMA series is going to start airing next April. When can we hear your voices grace the characters again?
I would hope that we would have the first opportunity to accept or decline that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll. I mean, Funimation will get that, but again, that's out of our hands, and we know about as much as anyone else does.
And I believe it's this April. Because it's now 2009, so this April. And I do know this. Again, Funimation, in an attempt to do the best they can to bring you guys what you want as quickly as you can, I know that they're trying to work opportunities to get anime titles as quickly and closely to the Japanese release as possible, when possible. You guys, I don't even begin to understand all of the technical, legal side of getting materials and communications between the companies that go on to get a series going. But I know that that they will certainly. I will tell you this too, guys. A lot of people would love to have the second season of Fullmetal Alchemist. You can imagine a lot of companies would love to even pay a lot of money to get the second season of Fullmetal Alchemist. So there may be some sort of a bidding going on. Certainly Funimation, is going to want to get it because I think they did an awesome job, and I think the Japanese, are very, very pleased.
I would be so mad if that happened.
They would use the original.
Well, yeah, they would probably still want to use the original cast anyway, but
hopefully.
what? Yeah, it's working. You guys want to see it now, or you want to hold off? I mean, what the hell? Let's see it now. Okay, we need people on the lights. Where are the lights? I just came over to Steve's house, and Steve's got a little setup, a little recording setup to do auditions and stuff. And so I had the script ready, and Travis came over, and we recorded all his lines, and then I took him back to Houston with me, and cut together the scenes, and then went out and started shooting all these little things with the action figures. I mean, we waded out into a lake, waist high, holding the boat like this, and the camera like this, hoping that I didn't fall into a hole in the bottom of the lake, and everything went to put
in the water.
Yes, wet. But we had a good time doing it. It was a lot of fun.
Now, did you get up to the very edge of that skyscraper?
Dude, yes. There was a guy in my church who owns a company that washes the windows of the skyscrapers in Houston. And I mean, this is the kind of thing you can't get to do. You can conceptualize these ideas, but when it comes to actually doing it, I mean, how are you going to get on the building, on the top of a 58-story building downtown in Houston? So we got up there, and I mean, wind was gusting. I mean, that's real. I mean, I was up there leaning over leaning over to shoot
no, thank you.
stuff. And we literally connected Roy to a rope and threw him off the edge. I mean, what you saw was real. Can you imagine like some business guy down on the 32nd floor going, because the thing was swinging past it. Because if we threw it out and the wind took it out of camera, we had to pull it back up and do it again.
Security, we have a suicide attempt. Well, who is it? Yeah, a toy? Damn economy.
But and the blender one, Caitlin Glass was actually in Houston doing something, and she was staying at my place, and she helped me do the blender scene. She was kind of helping, like she drew the dog, she drew Black Coyote, and then of course you have to, make it look like Ed's drawing. So what we did was, like, he put the crayon in his hand, but then it looked like he was doing this, right? Well, at the top of the crayon, we unfolded a paper clip and stuck a paper clip into the end of the crayon and just moved the crayon like this. And if you frame it just right, so you can't see the end of the crayon, it looks like he's doing it. So she was just loving it. And him flying out of the blender was a complete accident. And it was just perfect. So I'm like, we gotta use that. So we put the little sound effect, whoop, and then the crashing sound and stuff.
So great.
So let's take some more questions.
Yeah. Yes, over here. Against the wall.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have one, but what's probably the thing you're least proud of in voice acting? Like, what was the role that you're least proud of?
Yeah, like we're gonna say that. I don't think anybody's gonna answer that one.
You guys are gonna go check it out or something.
Yeah, right. Let's go see the crap they did. Yes.
How many Roy dolls did you use in that video?
Good question.
I think I had 3. And of course the one, I saved the microwave scene to the end because obviously, and you know, we couldn't get him to light on fire. And so, funny huh, for the Flame Alchemist, couldn't get him to light on fire.
He has that problem.
So what we did was, I got a butane blowtorch and held it just outside of camera range, like this far from him. And so we started rolling. So it was fun. And then like in the scene where Ed and Roy are in the car driving off, Roy wouldn't fit in the car, so I had to literally chop him in half so I could sit him down in the car. But that worked out because at the very end, when he's half Roy and half Barbie, he needed to be cut in half anyway. So.
You took just the head of Roy and put him on like a G.I. Joe body for the bandaged hospital.
That's right, because the Roy doll is one solid piece of molded plastic, right, like this. But in the bed in the hospital, he's lying like this, right? So I took a G.I. Joe doll and we chopped Roy's head off and stuck it in the corner, wrapped him all in bandages, so...
Witch hat. Wizard hat. Sorry. Side death hat.
My question is, I often hear that voice actors, they go into the room, they do their work, they come out, don't see anybody else, don't really do much else. But I wonder, how do you often meet each other and hang out and get to do things? Is it some form of already established network of people and then you just jump in? Or?
It just depends. Like sometimes there's cast parties, you know, and you meet people at the cast parties. Like Funimation has a ton of studios running all the time. So, you know, you could have a session from 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, and another person has a session around the same time, so you're coming in and out of the booth and you're passing people in the hallway and saying hi and all that kind of stuff. So it's just environment. And of course conventions, you know, you get to hang out with your friends that you don't normally get to see, which is nice.
Yeah, conventions is one of the best opportunities to interact kind of socially and as friends, you know. Even in the studio, the best you can hope for a lot of times is just to pass going in and out. Like I'm coming in and Travis is just leaving, or I'm leaving and Aaron was coming in, or whatever. And you only get a few minutes there sometimes. Or the other opportunity would be commentaries. If you end up doing a commentary with a couple of actors from a show. J. Michael Tatum, who plays Kyoya in Orion, and Caitlin and I did a commentary for Orion, and I know Michael and I see him and I say hi to him and joke around a little bit, but I've never gotten to just sit down and chat, and so we got the chance to do that when we recorded the commentary.
Big time.
So, the question is, since you guys like in great shape and all, does that help you out with your voiceover work?
Yeah.
Being in awesome shape. It really does, you know.
I do larynx ups all the time. I do tongue ups.
Diaphragm control does help, but I don't know if that would, you know, make your body better just by breathing in and out.
Travis is the king of lateral throat raises. Look at that. Now, I hope you guys are getting that, because it doesn't get any better than that. That's textbook form right there. Feel the burn, man.
You should have heard the boom as he hit the table.
Physically exercising really won't have much effect on your voice. But
sometimes you sit in the booth, you're not always standing even.
Eating candy in the booth.
Yeah,
sitting,
eating powdered donuts.
No, that never happens. But taking care of your voice, rest, sleep is good for your voice, water, you know, I mean, there are certain things that you can do to keep your voice in as good a shape as possible. But the rest of you is kind of...
Beetlejuice!